Let's talk a little bit more about how much I've had to do for it to look like I don't do anything at all. When I left Florida, it was because of the heat. I was dying from the heat. I couldn't take it, and I just wanted to get someplace with a cooler climate. It was during a hurricane when I left Florida on foot, heading nowhere except someplace cooler. People online had said to head to California, so I was heading west-ish. But I left Florida in a hurricane, and I spent 3 days walking 100 miles to get from Ocean Way, Florida to Savannah, Georgia. I didn't sleep very much. I did sleep a little. I stopped in at a truck stop that had showers and rest areas, but they wouldn't let me stay long because I was not a trucker and I didn't have any money. I walked and walked and walked. A couple of people picked me up. I got some rides, but for the most part, I walked in the rain. Do y'all know what trench foot is? Is that something you've ever heard of? I'll explain it. If you are in the bathtub for a very long time, you know how your skin turns kind of pale and pruny? At that point, it's softer, like paper, and you can just peel it off. If you don't dry your skin out, it can kind of rot, and layers of your skin will just peel off. It's called trench foot, and I had it after 3 days of walking 100 miles in hurricane weather. It was painful. The entire soles of both of my feet, multiple layers, just peeled right off. Finally got to California. I walked to the doctor's office and went through everything needed to get a doctor, a therapist. I spent the next 3 years, seeing that doctor on a monthly basis, seeing that therapist on a weekly basis. Before I came here to Oxnard to live in the truck, I was seeing my therapist every week, not every month. And that went on for over a year because I needed the therapy, I needed the help. I've been on multiple different medications. The Zoloft that I'm on now, I actually had to basically beg for because I was already on Latuda, and you're not supposed to mix mood stabilizers, which is what a Latuda is, with an antidepressant, which is what Zoloft is. But I was desperate to feel better because I was so depressed that when I received my Section 8 voucher, I wasn't happy about it. I felt nothing at all. My therapist cried. She was so happy for me. And for me, it was just another day because I had gotten to a point of being depressed where literally nothing affected me. And that's what it took for me to even understand that I needed more help than I was getting. That's why I started begging for the antidepressant to be added. And it took 3 months and my therapist talking to the doctor before he agreed to add the antidepressant. Okay? When that first year, I was told to go to homeless health care for my medical stuff. I went to the wrong office, and this was my fault. They clearly told me homeless health care. I went to the wrong place. The place that I went to was 5 miles away, and they needed to see me every week, and I walked that 5 miles every week to the doctor to make sure all of my paperwork was going to be in order when they came up to get my Section 8, because I had to be homeless and in the system being helped for a full year before they even would think about giving me that Section 8. Okay, so that was On a weekly basis, that was 5 miles a day that I was walking. When I was in Hollywood doing recycling, I was walking up and down Hollywood Boulevard. I was collecting $20 a day worth of recycling on Hollywood Boulevard. That's a lot of weight and a lot of walking for somebody that's not even trying. When I wrote my book, my therapist had been saying that I should try to write my story for a while. Many therapists in the past have told me that I should write my book, but I was never able to, because every time I got started on it, my mind would get a little bit jumbled. It would get so full of memories that I couldn't put in order, because a lot of my memories were blacked out. I couldn't remember them. But as I started remembering things, they would trigger more things. And that made writing my book both harder and easier, because I would get through one part, and writing that part and reliving that part would trigger another memory that happened earlier, possibly later, but normally one that happened earlier, that I would have to decide whether I wanted to include. And now I've got enough memories to write a whole nother book. And I don't see a point in it, because, like I said, only 30 people bought the first one. No one's going to buy it. And it took so much out of me mentally to write that book. It helped. I'm not saying it didn't help, but it also exhausted me, because I broke down crying multiple times. And it was, writing a book like that is emotionally draining. As helpful as it is, it's not easy. And it hurts when people tell me that I'm not even trying. All I do is try. Please understand that I am trying. I can't actually do anything, but it's not because I'm not trying. It's because I suck. You know, I try to keep myself looking presentable. I paint my nails with my little 50-cent nail polish. I keep my hair dye for months so that I can lighten it up just a little bit every time I wash it. I fucking carry buckets of water and wash my head leaning over the truck every couple of days to keep myself clean. If I didn't do anything to try, I wouldn't bother doing that to keep myself clean. I'm freaking washing my clothes by hand in the water that I just washed my body with, and hanging it up on the truck to dry in the sun, so that people can tell me that I don't even try. Please tell me what I'm supposed to be doing, because I clearly don't know. But don't tell me that I'm not trying.